seated.
Now, we would like to call up all our dignitaries to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a huge hand of applause to our dignitaries.
I am honored to hand the mic over to Karan Lodha of Class 12 to welcome this auspicious gathering.
Good evening to one and all present here. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Meena Dilip, member of the management, Ms. Chandni, our principal, Ms. Diva Krishna, educational consultant, Ms. Ruchi Mahunta, our parents, teachers, and our students of Sherwood Hall to Sherwood Hall's Junior Annual Day 22-23. We warmly welcome you with heartfelt emotions like rose petals sprinkled with fragrance. On a personal note, I feel honorable to be in an institution for 12 uninterrupted years, and I'm bestowed with the badge of Schoolhouse Captain Leopards for the year 22-23. I feel incredibly blessed to have this opportunity to welcome you all at this prestigious occasion. This day is also going to witness the showcasing of our young minds of our school. Our students have always been known as students with diversified capabilities, and I'm sure you will agree so at the end of the evening. So, without any further ado, let us begin and unfold the various events of the function. I hope all of you will enjoy the evening while our young minds spread the magic with their artistic performances. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you, Karan.
One more year has been added to the glorious saga of Sherwood Hall. With immense pleasure, we invite our Montessori coordinator, Mrs. Catherine Kurian, to present the annual report.
Good evening. A warm welcome to each and everyone present here. Sherwood Hall Senior Secondary School has inspired a love of learning for over 50 years. Our Montessori department, Sherwood House of Children, was established in 2019. Dr. Maria Montessori believed that education should be a flexible concept that can be adapted not only to meet the needs of the child, but the constraints of the environment as well. And the pandemic presented us with a unique environmental constraint in 2020. The school closure created an abrupt shift in the education across the globe. Yet, we found creative ways of retaining the essence of Montessori practice while we transformed and adapted to the new ways of teaching and learning during the COVID years. With all that behind us, I am glad we are here today. I am proud to present the annual report for the last 2 academic years. Despite all the challenges, we successfully adapted the unique hands-on Montessori educational philosophy and curriculum to our online mode of learning during the last 2 academic years. Our teachers sourced and replicated many of our hands-on materials in digital and paper form. We came up with innovative ideas to include language, mathematics, practical life, sensorial, and culture in our online classes. For the holistic development of our children, we ensured that they have a balance of extracurricular activities and academics. We included subjects like art, dance, singing, and physical exercise. We encouraged our children to creatively spread awareness about coronavirus through posters, videos, art, etc. We conducted Healthy Week campaign for our children to ensure healthy eating habits at home during the lockdown. We showed them how to make healthy salads and many other dishes. We conducted orientation programs for our parents at the beginning of each academic year to familiarize them with our online platform, Teams. We continuously engaged with parents on the progress of their wards through PTMs and one-on-one interactions. We did not let COVID dampen our spirits during festivals. We celebrated all holidays and festivals online, making beautiful art and craft with our children. 2021 Christmas was special for our children as they got to come to school after a long break. Our children were thrilled and enjoyed the magic show, Santa Claus, and the carol singing by our teachers. Our children expressed happiness, excitement about returning to school by writing to us. Our children enthusiastically participated in fancy dress, show and tell, and coloring competition during the Horizon Cultural Fest 2021. We started our first batch of Montessori beginners in the academic year 2020-2021 at the pre-KG level. We proudly celebrated the graduation day of our first batch of Montessori children, completing their 3-year Montessori program in the year 2022. During the pandemic, parents became a vital link between us, teachers, and our children. I want to thank you, parents, for cooperating and understanding and trusting us during these testing times. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the school management, Mrs. Diva Krishna, our principal, Mrs. Ruchi Mohanta, our educational consultant, who has encouraged and trusted the teachers of Sherwood House of Children while we set on this journey of change and growth with our children. Dear parents, we are looking forward to the Euphoria Kids Carnival coming up on 3rd December in St. George Ground. Now, I'll be sharing a small video. Let's see what our parents have to say about their Montessori experience. Have a wonderful evening, dear parents. Sit back and enjoy the show your little ones are putting up. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rashida and I would like to give my feedback about Sherwood Hall Senior Secondary School, particularly their Montessori system of education. It has worked really very well for my son. My son has learned a lot of concepts and has found this Montessori system to be really educative as well as a fun way of learning things. And I would also like to put in a word about the online classes that were conducted during the pandemic last year. I was very, very pleasantly surprised, and I'm so happy to say that the teachers who conducted the online classes last year were exceptionally good. A lot of care, a lot of efforts was taken towards the preparation of various materials. Worksheets were given, the classes were systematically prepared, and the homework was duly checked. Everything, all this was done through the online medium, and at the end of the year, children learnt a lot through these online classes. So kudos to Sherwood Hall. You are doing an exceptionally good job. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Vivek. I should be proud in saying that I'm a very happy parent associated with Sherwood Hall School. We personally had seen a huge development in his social skills and the way he converses with other children despite the conditions we are currently in, right, today. And I'm sure this is one among the best environment, ensuring a very holistic as well as balanced academic, social and emotional development in children, which will be cherished for the entire life. Very, very happy learning, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts in this regard. And a long way to go. Cheers. Bye.
I would like to say a big thank you to all the Montessori teachers from the Sherwood Hall School, especially for this last year. I know that they have taken a great deal of trouble to make sure that our children know their subject thoroughly and have learned it well, in spite of the difficulties of the online learning platform. I know that my 6-year-old son has really enjoyed learning school and learning the subject, which in itself says a lot about the method of teaching and of course about the teachers themselves, and that they are so passionate in how they teach the subjects. I would highly recommend the Montessori method of learning for our children, as it is very hands-on, very practical, and it's a very intuitive approach for our children. So I just want to say a big thank you to the teachers, to the school.
Thank you, ma'am.
We invite our primary coordinator, Mrs. Joycey Alexander, to present the annual report.
Annual Report 2020-2021 and 2021-2022. A great saying goes so. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepared for it today. It is an enduring tradition to take time to pause, turn around, to look at the fruitful years gone by, achieving both the expected and the unexpected, while setting various milestones and then synergizing ourselves to move ahead to face the challenges in the coming year with a positive attitude. We thank the Almighty God for all the blessings bestowed upon us year after year, especially during the academic year 2020-2021 and 2021-2022. At this juncture, I wish to put on record my sincere gratitude to the management, staff, parents, and students for your kind support and guidance. Being the year of the pandemic, all activities were done in virtual mode. Microsoft Teams served as a good platform to carry out all our academic work, admin work, and extracurricular activities successfully. The Sherwood team, under the guidance of our principal, Mrs. Diva Krishna, and our educational consultant, Mrs. Ruchi Mohanta, worked on additional events online and offline. Periodical assessments and evaluations were conducted for the students, and their progress were informed to the parents. Remedial classes for the academically backward students were held after the regular class hours to bring them on par with the rest of the class. Keeping in view the all-round development of the students, extracurricular activities were also given due importance. Club activities, art, and physical education were conducted virtually. Along with that, we also celebrated Children's Day, Christmas, Pongal, Independence Day, and Republic Day. Sherwood not only focuses on the intellectual development of our future generation, but also takes care of their emotional and behavioral development at their young ages of development by inculcating sound moral values, responsibility, discipline, self-reliance, and social awareness. To conclude, I would like to quote J. Anderson's words. What sculpture is to a block of marble, education is to a human soul. What sculpture is to a block of marble, education is to a human soul. Education is the ability to meet life situations. Once again, I thank all our stakeholders for your support and cooperation. The strenuous effort of the teachers has been bountifully blessed, and we are thankful to them for the same. To cap it all, I thank the Almighty God for His continuous protection over us every moment of the day and all through the year. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
With immense pleasure, I invite our beloved principal, Mrs. Diva Krishna, to introduce our esteemed chief guest.
Elected chief guest of the day, Dr. Meena Dilip, management member, Ms. Chandni, educational consultant, Ms. Ruchi Mohanta, parents, teachers, and my dear students. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you for the Junior Annual Day of Sherwood Senior Secondary School 2022. I would like to take this moment to extend my heartfelt thanks to our management, namely our President, Mrs. Devi Palanisamy, and correspondent, Ms. Srividya, for their enormous support and encouragement in taking the school forward, especially during the trying times in the last 2 years. I would also like to extend my heartfelt thanks to my dear parents who have come today for the wonderful support that they gave us during the last 2 years of the pandemic. Believe me, parents, without your support, we would have felt the going very, very difficult. So, very big thank you to all of you on this occasion. Moving on to the most important duty for me today, that is introducing our chief guest for the day. Dr. Meena Dilip is a consultant psychologist at the British High Commission in Chennai. She also provides group counseling and stress management programs in the corporate sector and has worked with companies like MRF, HCL, Accenture, RR Donnelley, etc. She holds a master's degree in psychology from Madras University, as well as diplomas in child psychology and advanced counseling skills from Stonebridge Associated Colleges, UK. Dr. Meena has been associated with various educational institutions such as MOP Vaishnav College for Women, Women's Christian College, etc., where she conducts training programs for students and staff on various topics like psychology, expressive arts, and play therapy, etc. We welcome you, ma'am, to this annual day of Sherwood Hall Senior Secondary School. It's indeed a real great pleasure to have you in our midst today. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now it's time to felicitate our guest of honor, Dr. Meena Dilip.
As a token of love and gratitude, I request Fatima Hamza Dawoodwala of Senior Montessori to hand over the bouquet to our chief guest. We would like to present our chief guest with a memento. I request our member of the management, Miss Chandni, to do the honors.
Thank you, ma'am.
I take pleasure in inviting our chief guest, Dr. Meena Dilip, to address the gathering.
A very good evening to one and all present here. It's truly an honor and a privilege for me to be standing here and addressing you all, because I am a proud ex-parent of Sherwood Hall too. And not so long ago, I was sitting there waiting for the chief guest to finish talking so I could see my son on stage. So I totally understand what's going through your minds. Believe me, I'm not going to take too much of your time. 10 minutes tops. I'm really grateful for the school to have given me this opportunity, and it felt amazing to be welcomed so differently today. Till now, I was just a parent. Today, I was a chief guest, and the welcome was out of this world, and I really enjoyed it. So thank you so much for making me feel so special. So when they invited me, the school asked me to address just 2 things, and I'll keep it really short. One was they wanted to know what my take is on what has changed post-pandemic for children and what I've been observing in my line of work as a child psychologist. And the other is a universal issue which a lot of parents are struggling with, gadgets. How many of you are struggling with this? Let's see a show of hands. How do we get our children off our devices? Yes? Yeah, I see quite a few hands going up. All right. So I'm going to start with what's been significantly different since we've come out of the pandemic or are coming out of the pandemic now. It's really sad and also a necessary evil that messy play has completely disappeared from our children's lives. Today, we are all paranoid about safety, cleanliness, hygiene. We tell our children, wash your hands, sanitize, sterilize. And in that process, we are not allowing our children to make a mess. Do you agree? How many of you agree that you're not allowing children to make a mess? Let's see a show of hands. No more mess. Everything has to be clean, spick and span. I'm going to now tell you how important messy play is, because many people don't know this. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can ask Google Mama. He will tell you everything you need to know about messy play and how significant it is to a child's development. When children get messy, what is messy play? It's nothing but them getting their hands dirty, getting it into natural mediums like wet sand or wet clay, or even basic stuff like atta or maida dough, if they are going to just mess around with it. Just their hands and fingers getting messy. That's what is messy play. And we are not able to allow them to do that today in the name of hygiene. But do you know what exactly happens in the brain when children actually get messy? When their fingers get into sticky, gooey, messy mediums, several things happen. One, fine motor skills develop. which is nothing but finger dexterity, their ability to manipulate their fingers and do fine work like writing, holding the pencil correctly, writing quickly, beautifully, neatly. If you struggle with handwriting issues or speed of writing, then it's time to get your children into a little bit of messy play. But that's not all. There are nerve endings at the tips of our fingers, I'm sure you're aware of that. And many of these connect back to learning and memory centers in the brain. And this actually helps children to expand their linguistic skills. They learn how to express and receive communication in language in the left hemisphere when they get messy. Their attention, focus, concentration, all of that improves as they explore these different textures. Their memory starts to expand because they start noticing different varieties of textures in the environment around them. And that's not all. These are the tangible benefits. There are some intangible benefits also of messy play. One of them is it helps children to develop creative problem-solving skills. And it also helps them to improve their frustration tolerance. As adults, if I were to ask you, how many of you are comfortable with mess and chaos? Many of you might say, no, I just want to clean things, fix everything, put things away, right? And it dysregulates you when you're in a disorganized setting. But when you allow children to get messy, it teaches their nervous systems to regulate and stay calm even when things are chaotic in their environment. And that's a really valuable skill to have, which means their temper tantrums, meltdowns, all of that comes down. And they also develop the ability to live through your mood swings sometimes. Creative problem solving happens because if you've noticed children mixing different mediums, like let's say there's sand and mud and clay and pebbles and stones and leaves and twigs, after a point they start sorting and separating it out. The stones might go in a pile, the twigs might come into a pile. And when they do that, what are they doing? They are creating order out of chaos. So in life, when they face challenges, they learn how to break a big problem into smaller chunks and approach it in innovative, creative ways. So that's the significance of messy play. So let's not take that away from our children. Because when we don't allow them to get messy, we are actually pushing them towards attention deficit, OCD, dyslexia. Why do you think there are so many of these diagnoses floating around today? Because we are not letting our children get messy anymore. So note to self, parents, let them get messy. And I do understand the hygiene concerns. And my suggestion would be if you can't get them into regular sand or clay, maybe you could consider home-based things like atta maida dough. Just pour some water and let them get their hands into it and get it messy. Moving on to the second part, the gadgets. Many of you raised your hands when I asked, is this a struggle? And truly it is. So first thing I would say is take heart, you're not alone. A lot of parents, not just here, but all over the world are struggling with how do we get our children off devices. But to be fair, we were the ones who put them there. For the last 2 years, we put them in front of the screen and said, attend online classes. And the schools did a brilliant job. They really scaled up. They came up with creative, innovative ways to keep children engaged. They made sure that there are no gaps in their education. But having done that, now we're expecting them to wean away from the device. It's not going to happen overnight. A lot of parents come to me and ask me, what do we do with this? It's a big problem. So I recommend a 3-pronged approach usually. It sounds great, but it's not easy. It's simple, but not easy, definitely. But it's worth a try, and I would request you to give it a shot and see whether it helps. First and foremost, we need to make our expectations realistic. If we are looking at eliminating devices completely, that's not a realistic expectation because technology is here to stay. And if we isolate our children from technology, then it's not going to be fair to them because they'll only feel left out and left behind. So we need to start with acceptance that we can't eliminate the devices, but we can contain and minimize it. Would you agree with me? Yes? Can I see a thumbs up if you do? Excellent. Having done that, the next step is to have constructive discussions with our children. Negotiate with them on what is a healthy amount of time that you believe as a family is okay for them to use their screens. And let it be a reasonable number of hours, 2.5, 3 hours per day. And try to have some kind of consequences attached to exceeding that and try to limit it over a course of time. The second step is to lead by example. Now, if we are fiddling on the phones ourselves and expect our children not to do that, is that fair? This age group of children, kindergarten to grade 4 or 5, are observational learners. They look at us and they do exactly what we are doing because actions speak louder than words. They're not going to hear what we are saying and listen to our words, but rather they're going to follow in our footsteps. They're going to do what we are doing. So it's really important that we become mindful of our own relationship with gadgets, especially when we are around our children. We need to show them that yes, it's possible to put that device away and be mindfully present while having conversations. Third and most critical aspect of managing device addiction, or any kind of addiction for that matter, is no and don't will never work. For example, if I tell you, sit back and don't think of an elephant, what will happen? The elephant will pop into your mind automatically. That's because the human brain is wired in such a way that it cannot process negative images. Instead, if I said, think of a giraffe, then the elephant wouldn't come into your mind, right? So my objective is met. I don't want you to think of an elephant. So by saying, think of a giraffe, I'm eliminating that. And that's the approach we need to take with devices. Instead of telling our children, don't use your phone or don't sit in front of the screen, it would be more constructive to have creative, interesting, alternative options available where we can divert their attention to and say, let's do this instead of don't do that. So on that note, I'm going to bring my talk to an end. I hope that it wasn't too long. Thank you so much for your patience and for giving me my 15 minutes of fame. Have a lovely evening enjoying your Tiny Tots performing. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for enlightening us with your words and gracing this evening with your presence. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to start a dramatic, fun-filled, magical and spectacular event. We welcome you all once again to sink into the depth of music, songs, lights and joy. So please sit back, enjoy, and a gentle reminder to switch off your mobile phones.
Circus comes to town. Let us sit back and witness a company of performers who will showcase their diverse and thrilling moves for you.
Now we will see our Montessori circus performers dressed in colorful outfits performing tricks to delight and amuse the crowd.
Hello everyone, I am Sayan.
Hi, I'm Ismail. Hi, I'm Fatima.
Ismail, do you know why we are here?
Have you heard about a circus? Yes, I have been to the circus, where animals and artists perform wonderful feats under the orders of their masters. Exactly, Fatima. But beyond its wonder, there's a lot more we can learn from what happens under the big top.
I agree with you both. It is filled with an unexpected and wild range of emotions.
Now we are here to visit the circus of Sherwood House of Children. I am so excited to visit the circus.
Let's pull back the curtain of the big top and see what life lessons we can find amidst laughter and some breathtaking moments.
Wow! Did you see the dance performance? Yes, it was so colorful and cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ha 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 ha! I enjoyed the clown dance too. The clowns were so funny. Did you notice them doing the somersault? Yeah, there's a lot more to watch, Syed and Fatima. Now let's sit back and enjoy the performance of the artists who will showcase their thrilling and dangerous stunts for you. That was a great show. The artist looked so cheerful, bold, and beautiful. In a circus, everybody has different gifts, be it a dancer, juggler, rope walker, lion tamer, or a clown. They have mastered the skills through practice. Circus is just not a place for entertainment. It is a place where we learn our life lessons too. The main essence of this show is to teach unity in diversity. We learn from the circus artist that we all need one another to complement each other. Even in Shout House of Children, we work as a team. Everybody has a part to play. When we work as a team together, we are stronger. Dear audience, we end this circus with a message that the Almighty has blessed each and every one of us with abundant talent. Use it well and it will be multiplied. Let us marvel at the circus of life.
Oh, yeah. Everybody has gifts he gives, different ones, but hey, know this, no one's gift is better than the other. We need each other, cause together we are stronger. Lift your hands up to the sky, bounce, bounce, don't be shy. Spin right round and do it again, let me hear some noise. Hey, God's team. Whoa, it's the best place you can be. Hey, hey, come on and be on God's team. Whoa, it's the best place that you can be. It's great to be on God's team. Everybody has a part to play. We need each other every day. We're never ever gonna be alone, because we're never on our own. Lift your hands up.